So, I'm going to show you some pictures, and I want you to see if you can guess what is in common with these three pictures. First picture, Jimmy Buffett. Second picture, world's famous Pike Place Fish Market in Seattle. There's a theme to this, you'll get it. And third picture is Starbucks. This happens to be the first Starbucks, which is also in Seattle. So anybody kind of think about what might be the commonality in these three pictures? That's not bad. They create a culture. That's good. It's not what I was thinking of, but that was good. The beginning. Okay, that's good. Anybody else? All right, I'll just tell you. They all started from nothing. Right? They all started from nothing. Let's think about the three of them. Jimmy Buffett, right, has one record, one single that was #1. He has one album that was #1. Yet he ranks as the third most wealthy music entertainer in the world, behind such notable people as Mick Jagger and Paul McCartney. Now, Paul and Mick are completely different worlds, right? Like how many gold albums they've had and how much, unbelievable presence they've had. And Jimmy Buffett, you know what he is? He's like the little shot who kept on shooting and turned into a big shot, right? And think about the unbelievable marketing this guy has done for himself. Aside from parrot heads like myself, but aside from that, the hotels and the restaurants and the shirts and all the stuff that he's created around around Margaritaville, right? He had one song that was really popular, and he created this whole culture, like someone said, around Margaritaville. Isn't that brilliant? Right? But we're just talking about music, bless you. We're just talking about music, it's amazing, right? Next thing, Pike's Place Fish Market, which is the top right thing. Some of you may have heard of it, some maybe not. It sells more fish than any other place in the United States. And the thing that happened is, back in the 80s, this guy had this little kiosk in Pike's Place Market, this little kiosk that wasn't bigger than the stage here. And they were selling fish, and he was failing. This guy was failing, right? There was other places selling fish, and he just wasn't making it. And he said, maybe we should entertain people as we're doing this. So maybe we should throw fish, as they're ordering it, back and forth, and throw it at people, and kind of just be positive and be happy with people and answer questions and wear these crazy orange uniforms and stuff. And now they are this huge thing. They've had books written about them, movies about them, unbelievable, started from nothing. Last thing is Starbucks. Starbucks is just coffee, right? And this is the first Starbucks right over here in the bottom. That's the first Starbucks. It was right across from Pike's Place Market in Seattle. And what you're seeing here, there's a line outside the door of Starbucks. It would take 2 hours to get in Starbucks to get one cup of coffee from the first Starbucks. So Lisa and I did not want to wait 2 hours. So I just took a picture of it to show you. But if you really think about this, Starbucks has taken coffee so that now the #1 drink in England, which was the tea capital of the world, is now coffee. So Jimmy Buffett has one single, Margaritaville, and is the #3 entertainer in terms of wealth in the world. And looks like he's having a great time if you ever watch him in concert. Pike's Place Fish Market, they just throw fish back and forth, and they're the #1 fish people in the country. Starbucks sells more coffee than anybody else in the world, and they all started from nothing. So it just so happened, as I'm flying to Seattle, we were talking out there, as I'm flying to Seattle, I'm reading this book. Has anybody read this, The World Without Us? Yeah, this is a great book if you want to read a very interesting book. This is a thought experiment. And what happened is Dr. Weissman, he said he had this idea in his head. What would happen if all of a sudden every person, every human being on the planet disappeared, was gone? What would happen to all the stuff? What would happen to all the skylines and the Empire State Building and the Statue of Liberty and your house and our cars? What would happen to all this? It was just a thought experiment. So I'm reading this on the plane as we're going to Seattle, and I was thinking about it, and I said to myself, this is interesting because I think I have an idea of what he's talking about. Now, these are two pictures taken maybe a couple of miles from where I live on the way to my practice. If you look at the picture on the left, there was a house that was there about 5 or 6 years ago, and it had a fire, and they knocked it down. But it's been well maintained. So now the guys mow it every couple of weeks and pull the weeds and stuff, so it's well maintained. Now the picture on the right, around the same time, there was a house used to be on that property too, also had a fire. They also knocked it down, but there's a difference. The difference is that the house here on the right, they haven't done a thing to it in 6 or 7 years. So what's the difference? Is that the one on the left looks well maintained. The one on the right has got weeds and little shrubs and trees and stuff growing all out of it. So here's the interesting thing. Something from nothing can also occur, but it can occur the wrong direction. Right? So the whole idea of growing something from nothing, you could be Jimmy Buffett or you could be Starbucks or Pike's Place Market and have nothing, start from zero and build this unbelievable empire. Right? Or you can have nothing, like this place here on the right, and let it just go to hell in a handbasket, and weeds will grow. Right? So something from nothing works either way. Depends on the effort that you put into it. Right? So something from nothing can make a Jimmy Buffett who is just having this great old time, just exploring the world the way he does, or you can create this unbelievable bunch of weeds and shrubs. So the moral is this. The weeds will take your garden if you let it. If you let it. Right? You either gonna, on the left-hand side over here, you either got to do the work, right? Eric Plask was saying that, right? Do the work, and you get a beautiful garden with landscape and nice, you space the flowers nicely, and you got all these cute, pretty colors and the little stones and stuff, right? And it looks really pretty and really inviting. Or you're like on the right-hand side where they used to have a garden. You can see there was a garden at some point in time, and now it's completely overgrown because they've done nothing to it. But the choice is yours, right? The choice is yours. Which one is your life? Do you choose the well-planned garden, right, where it's landscaped and manicured beautifully, and look at the pretty lines and there's nice rocks and trees and shrubs that kind of go like this and have a nice, feature to it? Or do you have this que sera, sera, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, this is just what it is, and let the weeds take your garden? So I think about this as it relates to chiropractic, because you're saying, where on earth is all this going? So I think about this, because everything's chiropractic, right? Everything's chiropractic. Like Jeremy was saying, 100% chiropractic all the time, whatever he said. It's all chiropractic all the time. We chiropractors and chiropractic students are really magicians because we do the same thing. If you really think about what we do, it must look like magic to an outsider, right? I adjust someone, I use my hands, and somehow they get better, and I don't do it. It's like, you must be pulling something out of your sleeve or out of the hat that you're wearing. Like, how did that happen? And I think that's why most of the world doesn't get what we do, because what we do looks like magic. It looks like a sleight of hand. Abracadabra, your pain is gone. Abracadabra, your autistic kid's talking. Abracadabra, your asthma's gone, right? Doesn't it look like that? Right? So that's why the world doesn't get it, right? Because if you're a medical doctor and you go, here is your sacrament, your pills, your potions, your lotions, or my surgery, I have a scalpel and the sutures and stuff, you can see it. You can't see what we do, right? It looks like sleight of hand. And then I think about this, like, what drives us? What drives you? Like, why are you here? And I don't mean here, like, at the Renaissance Waverly. I mean, why are you here on this planet? Right? I'm here on the planet for the kids. Right? That's why I'm here. I was put here. Larry Webster morphed me and made me into a pediatric chiropractor. And I'm here now because of the kids. Because the kids need us. The kids need me, right? More than ever before. Because let's think about this. Anybody know what the autism rate was in 1960? Give me a guess. Who said what? Very good, low tip. 1 in 10,000. Someone actually listened in class. Wow. 1 in 10,000. Right? Now don't answer this one though. Okay? According to the CDC, last year, what's the autism rate? You guys are close. 1 in 68. 1 in 68. So that means in 50 years, the autism rate has gone from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 68. I don't know, I'm not good at math, but that's a big percent increase, right? That's like thousands of percentage increase. Something is desperately wrong. Something is desperately wrong. And if we keep on going, right, if we let this continue as it is, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So the kids need us now more than ever, you know. And you look at the child on the left, there's an autistic boy. What's he doing there? What's this called? That's called stimming, right? Why are they stimming? Because they don't know where they are in space. It's called poor body awareness. Right? They can't figure out, so when they do this, they can feel themselves. You know, you tell an autistic kid to stop doing that, if he stops, he gets really upset because he needs to find himself. This is how he's centering himself. Or, like the autistic boy on the right, he's putting together these little cars. He's not just putting, like my son, we used to play Tom Sankage, and he would just, you know, and here comes Thomas, and here comes Mr. Top Hat, and he made this whole big story. These kids are like lining things up extremely linearly so that everything looks exactly the same. That's what's going on in their little heads. These kids need us more than ever before. And this is crazy. This is crazy, all right? This is the Autism Walk in Atlanta a couple months ago. So my wife and I were in Seattle, so my team was over here, and we had a booth at the Autism Walk. I don't know if you can see how many thousands of people are walking in this picture. But it's sick to think that there's that many people walking for autism. And it's not just here in Atlanta, right? It's in Philadelphia, and it's in San Diego, and it's in Houston, and it's in New York, and it's in Boston, and Miami, and they're walking everywhere for autism. Here's a picture from our booth at the Autism Walk out. Look how many people are there. And you know what a big portion of the booths were there? Because we're the only chiropractor. What was the big portion of the booths there? Drug companies. Right? Let's control these kids with drugs. Like, that's the answer. So a little boy comes into my office 3 weeks ago. 4-year-old boy with autism. Gorgeous little kid. Mom and dad say to me on the phone before she said, here's the problem. This kid's incorrigible. He won't let you touch him. He won't let you go near him. He's like totally hypersensitive. I said, don't worry, we've dealt with this before. He comes in on Wednesday. I said, hey, buddy, come on. Let's go get adjusted. He was sitting on the floor with his dad. He gets up, walks in the back room with me, and climbs up on the table. And the parents are like, because he generally doesn't follow directions. Usually it's like you got to pick the kid up, take him, put him somewhere. He climbs up on the table. He looks right at me and he says, hi. And the mom and dad are like, and they're saying he's initiating conversation now, right? He's only saying one word here and there, but he's initiating conversation. He's actually parroting words, right? He's saying, he was watching a little video as we're adjusting him, and he said the word light, because on the video, one of the characters said light. And he never did that before. So magic, right? I think about it from the parent's perspective, and I got my hands on this little boy doing different kind of adjustments with him. It must look like magic, because they're saying, I don't know what on earth this guy's doing to my kid, but something's changing. And the mom says to me Wednesday, she says, nobody can touch him except for my husband and I, and now you. Nobody else. Nobody else in the family, my in-laws, his parents, nobody can touch him except for you. That's the idea. That's what we're trying to do. This is a battle cry. So, like it's been said already from this stage, What are we waiting for? You want an invitation? Right? Well, my invitation to you is now here. Right? We do not have time to wait. Do you understand that? 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 68. If we do nothing like we have for many years and focus on back pain, then in 20 more years, it's going to be 1 in 2. Right? The choice is yours. The choice is really yours. You know, to reach a goal you have never before attained, you must do things you've never done before. I'm asking you to go way past your comfort zones. I'm asking you to become magicians. And you already are magicians, but I'm asking you to recognize it. I'm asking you to recognize that you are magicians, that you have miracles to perform, and it looks like magic because you're just using your hands. But it's time for us to continue to create that universe, right? It's time for us to change the universe because we really do have the ability to create something from nothing. Thank you very much.